Greetings, everyone. This is part 3 of our trilogy on marriage. Now, we talked about things that you need to make clear before you get married. And we talked about reasons that you should not marry somebody. And today, we're going to discuss the reason why you should marry somebody. So, you start dating someone and you get to a point in the relationship, whether you're trying to figure out whether to get serious, move to the next step, whether you want to move in with the person, if you want to be exclusive, so on and so forth. Things that the titles and the labels we put on our relationships. So it's weird. So we're trying to figure out what to do next. And really what we're saying subliminally is that we are afraid of making a mistake. When you're with someone, especially when you're talking about spending the rest of your life with someone, you do not want things to turn sour, because right now, divorce has become fashionable. It's become regular. It's become accepted. It's no longer taboo. But the last thing you want to do is get with someone where you waste your time, your effort, your money, your love, and your valuable energy to someone that is not going to work out to begin with. So here are some things that would help you. First and foremost, and I'm not going to talk about love because love is not enough. Trust me. We said that in our previous video. If you don't know what signs or reasons why you should not get married, look at the previous video. Here are the things that you need to consider before you get married, reasons to marry someone. Okay, so first and foremost, you're thinking about proposing to that woman. Or you're the woman and you're thinking about proposing to the man. They do that now too. Or you're the woman and you're like, well, maybe he's going to propose to me and I don't quite know whether I'm going to say yes or no. Here's some things you definitely want to consider. Now, let me tell you about the number one fears. A man, when he's talking about marrying a woman, he don't want to lose his girlfriend. So he hopes that she doesn't change, that she doesn't turn into the ball and chain, that she doesn't turn into one that does not want to have sex, or he doesn't want the woman to become a nagger or a complainer or whatever. So he's like, is she gonna change? Well, the woman sometimes marries him thinking that he is gonna change, that I need to marry him now because my biological clock is ticking, or I'm reluctant to marry him because I don't think he will get any better, that he'll become any more responsible. So those are some of the fears that people are concerned about before they get married. So let's get started. How do you feel about marrying that person? Where do you fall on this? Do you think it'll be an ecstasy, happiness, contentment? Are you fearful to marry that person, or you're miserable? You think you'll be miserable marrying that person? You need to clear that up first. So here's the 5 reasons. The first reason is compatibility. Are you compatible with that person? Now, compatibility is a variable. It depends on what you personally consider compatibility. So compatibility means that you're with someone that you can talk to, that you can share your life with, and someone that understands you. Not all of you. Not somebody that can walk around inside your head and figure out all the nooks and crannies. No. But have a general understanding of what you like, what you dislike, what your goals are, what you're looking forward to, how your views on God, your views on children. Somebody you're compatible with. Somebody you can go on vacation with. And you don't have to worry about them flipping out on you over some crap older and spoil the vacation. Somebody that you're not afraid of taking out in public and they're going to act out or whatever. Somebody that you know that when you invest your time and effort into that person, they're reciprocating kind. Somebody's not going to overreact to your mistakes. Now, I ain't talking about betrayal. I'm talking about to your mistakes. Compatibility. Can you guys get along? Can you guys walk and talk, but just pretty much get along? And when you disagree, you can agree to disagree and move on. If that person's going to hold a grudge on you when y'all disagree, you know, all these things, compatibility, will it work? Is he your type? Is she your type? So on and so forth. Is that person willing to stick with you through thick and thin? You know, when you get a horrible sickness, or you've lost your job, or the car's not working, or you just had a bad day at work. Compatibility. Those are the things that you look for. Somebody that you can count on. And I'm not talking about perfection. I'm just talking about overall concern about your well-being. If you're compatible with someone, then that is a reason to consider marriage. The other one is maintaining happiness. Someone that can make you feel like you're cared and loved. Okay, so if I say something like someone that can make you happy, that might, you know, turn some people left, because happiness it's an emotion. It can turn right or left, and it's frugal. But so let's change that. Let's look at somebody that cares whether you're happy or not. Somebody that wants to put a smile on your face. When you're having a bad day, they'll walk up to you and be like, hey, how can I make your day better? Or when you least expect it, they do something random to put a smile on your face. How can I be a better husband to you? How can I be a better wife to you? Somebody that is in the business and makes it a priority to put a smile on your face. And it should be work both ways. What they say, TD Jakes says reciprocity. Someone that will reciprocate with you. So where you're not giving 80 and they're giving 20. You know, so that's someone that you want to consider marrying. Someone that really wants to make you happy and put a smile on your face. Now, granted, with that comes some type of reluctance, because people are afraid of giving that much, because a person may not appreciate it, take it for granted, laugh at it, or not quite reciprocating kind. So these are things that you need to be sure of before you get married to somebody, that you're not wasting your time making someone happy that could care less whether you're happy or not, or they're so consumed with their own happiness that they ignore yours. If you feel like you're doing the brunt of the effort, then that's not the person you need to marry. And ladies, men too, don't think because you get married that you're going to get something else out of them that you hadn't gotten before. You know, you're going to get the same thing. It doesn't change anything. It's like getting saved, you know, for you Christians. Okay, once you proclaim your life to Christ and you decide you want to change it to a different direction, you make a covenant with God that you want to spend the rest of your life maintaining the rules and regulations of the Bible, and to put it simplistically. Well, after that moment, you're still going to have to deal with your same issues, whether you drank a lot or had sex a lot or on drugs or you was a liar. So all those things just don't go away because of your commitment to God. Those are things that you have to work on as your maturation process. So as you read and study and learn, then that's when you sacrifice, then that's when you learn how to become a better Christian or a better parishioner or wherever you decide to go in your Christian walk. So that's just an example. Now, coming back to marriage, don't think because you marry that person or you decide to marry that person that all of a sudden everything's going to change, because it's not. If the guy snored before you married him, he's going to snore afterwards. If the guy was cheating on you before you got married, you might want to look out, because he might cheat on you some more. If she had a smart mouth before you got married, well, guess what? She's going to have a smart mouth afterwards, okay? So I'm not saying that people can never change. It's just saying these are things that people need to work on. And some people think because they get married that those things will change. And no, you have to work on those things. Those things take time to work out. So when you marry somebody, of course, you're not trying to marry somebody because they're perfect, but you marry them because they're perfect for you. All right? Third thing you want to consider before you marry somebody, is this relationship sustainable? Is this sustainable? Let's say you decide to get married and one guy lives in one city, somebody lives in another city. Is that sustainable? Are you comfortable with a long distance relationship? What I mean by that is, let's say he's a truck driver and he's gone for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, a month at a time. Girls, can you handle that? Men, can you handle being away from your wife that long while you're on the road, not thinking she's cheating on you or he's cheating on you, whatever? You got to consider those things. Is the relationship sustainable? Is it sustainable where you have things worked out to where the kids, the stepkids, have their responsibilities laid out, where you know how much influence you have over her kids and vice versa? Sustainable. Are your values line up to where you can effectively deal with issues, effectively deal with problems, because they're going to come, to where it doesn't destroy the relationship, where you can deal with the problem without y'all ignoring each other and giving each other the cold shoulder, without fist fighting, without calling each other out their name, without getting your mom and them involved, without calling your brother and getting them involved, or calling your best friend, getting them involved. Is it sustainable? Can you sustain that relationship together? You have to see if that relationship is sustainable. Where the values lie. What's the thread that holds that relationship together? I mean, people have their different preferences. I mean, some people swing and all this other stuff. Whatever they decide to do, whatever works for them is fine, but it has to work both ways. These are things that you have to discuss. So you marry somebody if your relationship is sustainable. You have to consider that. Another reason to marry somebody: do they add to your life? Do they make you a better person? Do they add to your life? Here's what people don't understand about marriage and relationships in general, is that no one can make you happy. No one can complete you. No one can make you happy or fall in love with yourself. None of that. None of that stuff works. Here's the way a marriage should work from the beginning, from the outset, is that you yourself have to be in a state of ecstasy and happiness on your own. On your own. If you're down here and you're miserable and fearful and you expect your husband or your wife to bring you up here, you're sadly mistaken, because the only person that can give you ecstasy, happiness, is yourself, and you being able to receive what that person is giving you. You'd be surprised how many people you can love on and they're not ready to receive it, because either they feel like they don't deserve it or they feel like they can't reciprocate in kind. Those are things you need to consider when you're talking about someone that's adding to your life. So adding to your life means that you're in these areas, these frequencies where you're 500 or 400, and they are ecstasy, happiness in this area too. So you both are vibrating at a high frequency, and you come together and share that bond together that becomes stronger. Let's think about it like this. If someone's up here on a high frequency and then someone else is down here, then it's unequal. It's unbalanced. You want balance this way, because some people that are down here, you'll never be able to please that person. They have to find a way to get themselves up here to match your state of mind or your state of vibration. And I can really drag that one out, but we'll just leave it right there. And the last one, the reason why you want to marry someone, this is a good reason to marry someone, is that you can be fruitful and multiply. That's scripture. So fruitful and multiply doesn't mean that y'all can make babies together. Though it can be one of those areas where y'all want to make babies together and build a family. That's being fruitful. But multiply is that you guys can maybe build a business together, or buy houses together, build relationships, help fulfill each other's visions. And sometimes being fruitful and multiply is also being able to support that person in their endeavor. You might not necessarily agree with their vision, but you're there to support their vision. You're there to complement their vision. You're there to help them with their vision and compliment them and encourage them. Now, granted, if somebody's doing something stupid, like building an ice cream stand in 20-degree weather, make no sense. You know, so I mean, it's just certain things, and that's another thing as well, is that can you openly criticize them, give them constructive criticism without them losing their mind? I mean, here's the thing about constructive criticism: if it's coming from a good place, where you know that person loves you and wants what's best for you, then that type of criticism, that's what you want, because two eyes are better than one. I mean, somebody may look at something totally different. Maybe your spouse or your partner has been through a similar situation, so you can be open to hearing what they have to say and heeding to that warning, and then make up your own mind behind that. So that's huge. So here's the 5 things that you really need to consider before you marry someone. First thing, are you compatible? Second thing, that you're able to maintain happiness with them and also feel loved by them, cared for by that individual before you marry them. 3, is your relationship stable? You have a stable and sustainable relationship. You don't want to marry somebody that's not stable and is not sustainable. Number 4, can they add to your life? Can they make you a better person? If they can't, why are you fooling with them? Can they make you a happier person? Can they make you better prepare you for life? Can they put a smile on your face? Can they put money in your pocket? Can they help you build? Those are things you need to consider before you marry somebody. And the last thing, can you be fruitful and multiply with that individual? All right, so that completes the trilogy. I hope you're able to get something out of it. And until the next time we speak, peace and hair grease. Mm.